Okay, welcome to part 2 of our No Retreat, No Surrender soundtrack episodes. So we watched some old clips, we talked some trivia, we try to clear up some things, if we can. No Retreat, No Surrender 2, here we go. Okay, seasonal films, of course. Also directed by Corey Yun. There's a lot of trivia about why Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kurt McKinney didn't come back. That's something for another video. We're talking about music this time. Raging Thunder. Okay. This was really confusing because it never said No Retreat, No Surrender 2, so you thought you had the wrong... Actually, let's have a look at this. So this is the same videotape from back in 1987. I remember borrowing this with new release Beverly Hills Cop 2. So 87, I'm pretty sure it's 87. Oh, okay. So this, even though the cover is the same as I remember it back in the day, this must have been a reissue of some kind, because it says No Retreat, No Surrender 2 on the label here. If I recall, the original one at the video store just said Raging Thunder. So it had this exact same cover, but it said Raging Thunder inside. And then it's, yeah, you got Raging Thunder written on the bottom in small writing, okay? So when you borrowed this film and you saw that there wasn't anybody from the first movie in it and it said Raging Thunder, like the title here, you thought you had the wrong tape. So it was a bit confusing. Now I really like this film. Great film. I've got a lot of sentimental sort of stuff with this too. Same with the first film. If you compared the first movie to Karate Kid, you'd compare this one to Rambo 2. Rambo 2 with some sweet martial arts. Martial arts courtesy of the very great Lauren Avedon. One cool guy. Now it was always an absolute joy just to see this guy move, to see his kicks, especially when he was directed by guys like Corey Yun. His fight scenes are an absolute joy to watch. And that is one of the main things that makes this film so good. Okay, keep in mind, this film is also written by, it's written by Keith Strandberg again, and I believe Roy Horan had writing credits on this film as well. And he was a producer. He was very much behind the scenes in this movie. The late great Roy Horan, who we lost in 2021. Father of Selena Jade. You've seen her in the very underrated movie Triple Threat. It was a great film, starring Scott Adkins, Michael Jai White, Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais, G.J. Yanin. It was a very underrated movie. We'll talk about that another time. Our main people in this film, Lauren Avedon, Cynthia Rothrock, Max Thayer, Matthias Hughes as the Russian bad guy in this, and Hwang Jung Lee, who was in too many movies to mention, but let's think, he was in Snake and Eagle's Shadow as well, seasonal films. Again, believe it or not, there are 2 soundtrack versions of this film. We've got the VHS version, and then we've got the DVD version that was released in the early 2000s. And the music vibe in this film is very different. It's very different to the first film. And it suits well. It's composed by David Spear. So David Spear, he's mostly a American film composer, a conductor. He's mostly a conductor. He's known for a few soundtracks, mostly things like museum scores for museums. He led the London Symphony Orchestra, the Royal Philharmonic, the Vancouver Symphony. He wrote music for an Emmy Award-winning documentary which was called Surviving Everest. Okay, so now David Spear's score throughout this film, it's quite interesting, because so it wasn't until No Retreat, No Surrender 2 came out on DVD. So we've got the UK release and we've got the Australian release here. Now, not even worth holding or showing this one. It was by a real hack company. The DVD days for Force Video were quite disrespectful, which was quite evident with the horrible artwork that went on all their titles. Especially the martial arts films. Like, alright, check this out. Apart from getting the artwork mixed up for the titles for the No Retreat, No Surrender films, they got the taglines wrong as well. So if you have a look here, what have we got? Martial Law. Great American martial arts movie. Cynthia Rothrock, Chad McQueen, brothers, cops. One enforces the law, the other breaks it. That tagline doesn't come from martial law, it comes from another film. At least they kind of got the artwork correct. What else have we got here? Kickboxer 2. Great film. Have a look at the picture here. This is actually a picture from Kickboxer 4. Gave no respect to these films. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Two versions of the soundtrack score. It looks like they rescored some of the scenes on the DVD version. And I suppose that's a copyright thing. So there are two parts that come to mind. The first part, this bit here, the waterfall scene. Okay, now listen to this music. This is from the VHS version. Now I always assumed that this was kind of stock footage music or something like that. I'm pretty sure I remember this from back in the 80s on the National Geographic TV commercial. Or there was some TV commercial that used to use this back in the 80s. I'm pretty sure of it. But I've never been able to hear it again. I can't track down the name of this track. It kind of puts atmosphere to this scene. Now, this is the DVD version. It's a very slow-paced. It's very different, isn't it? Now I assume that this is a legal thing. They took that other track out because it was so familiar, and they put this one in. This is scored by David Spear. So this is officially from the film for the film. Why it wasn't used in the VHS version, I have no idea. Now, just to bring up something else of trivial sort of information, I looked up the National Geographic music because I thought it was from National Geographic, and the name Elmer Bernstein came up. He composed and he arranged the scores for like over 100 movies over the years. 10 Commandments, The Magnificent Seven, To Kill a Mockingbird, 100 film scores. So like that even went all the way up until the 70s and the 80s. Like I said, over 100 films. But he also did the stuff for National Geographic. Now, National Geographic, that was the first thing that came to my mind when I'd heard the music on the waterfall scene on the VHS version. So it turns out David Spear, who composed the film score, he began his career orchestrating films for Elmer Bernstein, which is, coincidence? Real interesting. There's also the other thing there, that David Spear had actually composed music for a National Geographic documentary about Mount Everest, surviving Everest. So I don't know what's going on there. Did he borrow Elmer Bernstein's score for that scene? Or is there something else? I don't know. Okay, now here's the second little bit of music that I can recall that's quite different between the two versions. And this has a big impact. So, in the VHS version, the final fight scene, quite dramatic again, as it should be. The music is fast-paced. You get a different sort of energy. So check it out. Here we go. And Lauren unleashes with some great footwork. Okay, here we go. Some great footwork here. I love this scene. Bang. Getting that close-up that Corey Yuen likes to use. Just skip ahead to when he crowns him there. Okay, check out this music. very fast paced. That's super cool, I love it. Okay, so this is the DVD version. Now check out the music. Again, both composed by David Spear. As for why they were changed around, I don't know. Here we go. Let's skip to the crowning. Boom. Now check it out, the vibe is totally different. I don't think the DVD version is as exciting as the VHS version. Yeah, so there you go. Stop that. That's a difference there that I really noticed between the two versions. And it really did have an impact on me because I always found the showdown at the end to be a lot more exciting with the music that they used in the VHS version. As for why they changed it in the DVD, who knows? Now, as the credits start to roll here, we've still got to talk about the main song, Raging Thunder, which was sung by Lisa Donovan. Now, as for who Lisa Donovan is, I'm not quite sure. You do a bit of research and you see that she was actually, if it is the same Lisa Donovan, that she's an actress, singer, comedian, and dancer. And that if she is the same person, she's been a part of like 11,000 different musical numbers. Is that even possible? Wow, she's been singing for a very long time. She's one of those, like, kind of Vegas performers, from what I understand. Stage shows, comedy things like that. And she'd worked with some of the big names of back in the olden days, the American guys like Mickey Rooney, Lucille Ball, things like that. So if that is, in fact, the same Lisa Donovan on the credits here, well, yeah, she had quite a resume on her. So anyway, this film's finished, so make sure to stick around for episode 3 of the No Retreat, No Surrender soundtracks. Next episode, obviously, No Retreat, No Surrender 3 with composer Richard Yoon, so that should be an interesting one. Till then.